So this was our bell. I already announced it this morning. To get started with the second part of our event today, we prepared a short keynote for you with my colleague, Dr. Alexander Broos. He is the head of our Research and Technology Department, and he has been described as Mr. Umati for many years now. So he was the one who initiated the project, who further developed it, and he is, so to speak, a true expert in that field. And he is going to report us about the further development of Umati, the current status of Umati, and also what you can expect to see about Umati at the EMO Hannover. Mr. Broos, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
So, because we're an international initiative, I'm going to talk in English. So those of you who need instant translation can get rid of their headsets. Also, it's my job to avoid getting you into after-lunch coma. I'll do my best. Thanks for having me and listening to me. I'm here representing Umati, a global initiative which talks about connecting the world of machinery. And let me just put it into the context of what you saw and heard here about EMO. And I put Umati at the core for a reason. You know, in the communication, we have those three topics we call future insights, which means these are the topics we are talking about when we say, we reinvent, we reshape manufacturing. Certainly, we have business. It's all about business, no money, no other. It's about sustainability. We only have one planet, so we need to make sure everything we do is in line with the resources we have and with the environment that we are shaping. Certainly, our industry always put sustainability in a very high rank, but the sustainability was mostly about, let's say, getting efficiency for the money. Certainly that involved environmental issues, but as the prices for environmental costs go up, we get all more sensitive because we have to act. And then there's future of connectivity. We all talk about digitization and all the stuff. We just put it as connectivity because you cannot run digitization without getting connected. And that's why I said, basically, initiatives like Umati are enabling to put these things together. And when you look, for example, connecting connectivity with future of business, you can believe it or not. I'm not sure yet, but many people say data is the new oil, data is the new gold rush, so we need to have data. We all want to participate in a data-driven economy. Well, first of all, we have to have access to data. Then we have to share the data. There are initiatives like Manufacturing X, which is coming up now to create ecosystems, to create federated data spaces, as they call it, so that you remain the ownership of your data, but you can share and expand the data with all your customers and the people you do business with. And then you can participate in the data-driven economy, and that means, hopefully, future better business. And when you look at the other side of the picture, data helps creating transparency. Sustainability is about efficiency, but sustainability, unfortunately, is also about reporting. You have to be compliant with legal issues, probably at the moment in every continent in the world. So when you have transparency, you can optimize. When you can optimize, you create more efficiency, you are more sustainable, you reduce waste, and that means a conservation of resources. And resources is not only the environment, but also money, and then we're getting back to business. Just to show you, reshaping manufacturing actually means building networks and connecting on all these different fields. And Umati as initiative tackles a very basic issue, and that is connecting machines. And I guess most of you, the exhibitors, many of you are Umati partners. The journalists, I guess with many of you I have talked or you have read about Umati in the press releases that we have. We are doing this now since 2018, but the situation that those guys, those different machines, cannot talk with each other like that is still existing. And the solution, of course, we have talked about is we need a standard that they understand each other, and we need to bring that standard into operation. And the standard that we use is OPC UA. and the initiative to put it into operation, to make it known, to make it used, that's Umati. Just a quick update on the OPC UA standardization. For those of you who remember, OPC UA is the communication framework that allows devices in industrial automation to connect with each other and to communicate. So to say, they have to start to learn the same language, as you can only understand me if you have basic knowledge about the English language. And certainly, then the next thing is, you need specific dictionaries. If I'm talking here to people from our sector, manufacturing, metalworking, you understand what I'm talking about. If the audience would be lawyers or medicists, they have a totally different dictionary in their head. So first of all, we have to align that the terms that we use in the specific language are identical. Under OPC UA, you call that companion specification. And when you have those two, in the technical speaking, you say we have semantic interoperability. And you can have semantic interoperability in many fields of application. We are talking about the machine building industries, and there's been a terminology coined for that, the global language of production. So we want to make sure that all the devices, all the technologies we use in the production environment are able to interconnect and communicate. And if you look at that slide, I don't know if you can read all the details, but just the sheer number. So we have, at the moment, under development, 57 standards that try to get a grip on those different specific dictionaries for the different technologies. And certainly some are just starting, many are under development, but we have 24 standards already released, so they are out there. They can be used for free, they just need to be implemented using OPC UA technology. But then again, you see, you have one difficulty. It's not one standard. So when we all talk about standards, we think maybe about the paper we use in the laser printer. That's in most parts of the world A4 paper, following an ISO standard. And when we talk about A4 paper, everybody knows when I have a printer and the paper and it works. Now here you have to say, okay, I want to communicate some things. Do I have a machine tool? Do I have a robot? Do I have some type of plastics machinery? Maybe I just don't want to worry about what type of machine it is. I want to have more general information, which is also there. But in the end, you need to worry about 24 existing standards being able to work together. And everybody who has been able ever in standardization knows that standards leave room for interpretation, because otherwise it wouldn't be a standard, it would be one solution of a product, which is per se not possible in standardization. So it's not enough to do standardization, you have to bring it into operation, and that's exactly what we're here for. And that's why we extend the concept of standardization with OPC UA by this Umati initiative to address a global community, so to make it known, to create identical implementation, which also involves creating open source software, creating development kits, creating education for the programmers and for the people who use it. Certainly marketing, that's why I'm here, and demonstration, which is all about what you're going to see at EMO. So what are we doing? We have 3 fields of action, that is dissemination, community, and implementation. First thing is, it's a very technical subject. So we all are used to having a smartphone and simply putting things to work at the fingertips of the touch screen. We want to have the same in manufacturing, we want to have the same in a production environment, but it's much more difficult there. So you have to have people who know the technology. Unfortunately, as we all know, I don't know who of you could program an Android or Apple app to use. We are using it, so we have to make it easy to use. And that means we have to take the technical talk and present it in a way that it is easily understood, because otherwise people will not understand the added value of what we are actually doing. The next thing is, as I said, a global community. A standard doesn't work if it is a German standard or a French standard or an English standard or an Indian standard or a Chinese standard. If you don't put these standards to work on a global perspective, all together, because we're all doing international business, all our competitors, all our customers are distributed all around the world. If we don't get that global community of users, of programmers, of machine builders, of software makers together to improve things, we just can't let it be, because it will not make an impact. And the third thing is, technically speaking, we need to make sure we have an implementation. And for the user, we want to show that it really works all together the way we want, the way it's designed and the way we want it to work. And that's why our concept, bringing machine builders and users together to do the exact thing. A machine builder will always think in his technology, because he's the expert for building a robot. Who builds a robot is not building a machine tool or a measurement device. Well, some do, because they try to integrate processes, but still everybody has a business background, and the companies who are in the room, they are doing the business for tens or hundreds of years. They know what they're doing in their sector. The user, on the other hand, uses whatever technology he needs to get his product made. And so you see machines coming together in a production environment, production ecosystem, which then is totally different. Not two of them look alike, because you have heritage machine tools, heritage software. You add that with new machine tools. You have different controllers. You have an age structure, and so on. And there you see, writing a standard that works on the paper, that works in implementation, does not mean you have reached out to the customer to put it to use. And somehow we have to bring this together, and this is another point we are actually standing for. And we means it's a community. It's a network, first of all, of cooperation of companies. And we have about 310 partners now. Back when we started at EMO 2019, we were 70 partners from only machine tool building industries. Now it's 300 partners from a variety of sectors. I'll show you in a minute. And the good news is, Germany is almost in the minority, almost. Because that's the next thing. If you want to have it global, it means you have to open it up for everyone to participate. Still, Germany is the largest group. Also in the global market of machine building, you know where Germany's position at, so that doesn't wonder. But still, when you look at this, Japan is the second largest group, together with Switzerland and Italy, so these are the fast followers. So, and all around the world, also in China, where we have a cooperation with a local initiative called NC-Link. So again, it's about connecting, shaping the future by connecting globally without the interest of does it come from Germany, does it come from another country? Just do it and join. Let me talk about the industries that have been affiliated now with Umati. What does the affiliation mean? These industries that are listed here, they have developed their OPC UA standard. And then the next thing is they came to Umati and said, we want to implement it. We want to put it together in a reference implementation. We want to join the activities for open source software development. And that means we, the community, takes what we are working on in terms of open source software and other things and integrate these standards. So when you try to use a Umati implementation today, you can get the resources on an open source repository. That means you can run it, well, with general machines. The general machinery standard, for a second, does mean you have certain information needs that are the same for every machine. The best example is a digital nameplate. Every machine has a maker, a year of production, a serial number, and so on. So that should not look differently from a robot or a machine tool or other things. We have things that are identically this job management, uploading recipes, uploading CNC programs. The mechanisms are the same, the application is slightly different, but still it should be managed in one way. The next big thing, which we are probably in a prototypical way can show at EMO, that's not sure yet because there are many players involved, is energy consumption monitoring. Because again, everybody who runs a production needs to comply with reporting prescriptions, and that means he has to extract the data of the energy consumption from his machines, and no matter which machine, it should all be in the same way. And then we have geometrical measurement systems, assembly, glass technology, laser systems, machine tools, plastics, rubber, robotics, surface technology, coating, painting, woodworking. So Umati is an initiative of these industries. It's not an initiative of machine tools. It's not an initiative of robots. It's an initiative of them together to show that their data can conflux in one single system, data lake, cloud application. We are not doing the application. We leave that to the market. But we want to make sure that it works to bring all this data together. Another thing we are dealing with, we are putting a little more effort into that at EMO as well, is, again, to make it simple. So everyone who uses data has a job to do. And we don't need to tell the people who have a job to do, well, there's a variety of 24 standards. Look at the standard, pick whatever you deem useful, and then try to implement it. We put it the other way around. You have a job to do. You want to know, is your production running? Well, no matter if you have a machine tool or a robot, you can take parts of the standards, and we have made sure they work all together, and then you can look it up, and then you can put it to use. So we try to communicate as easily as possible and make clear where the benefits and the use is. We are going to have a live demonstration again. When we did that in 2019, it was, let's say, groundbreaking. You could go to a machine, scan a QR code with your cell phone. On your cell phone, you could see what the machine is actually doing. We are going to do the exact same thing, only this time the technological basis we are going to have is much wider. So what's going to be new for Umati at EMO 2019? Certainly, we have more partners. It's more international. We will connect more machinery. In the foreground, geometric measurement, which is very closely tied to mechanical manufacturing and metalworking. Certainly, additive manufacturing, robotics, etc. We provide the same but better user experience, and you can have a glimpse at future developments. And with this, see us at EMO, Hall 9, F24. It's not Umati alone. Again, we are connected. We are connected to OPC Foundation, who is the groundkeeper for OPC UA standardization. And we are connected with VDMA, who is, let's say, the bearer of all the efforts for the global production language. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me here later, or come see us at EMO. And I hope now you're all ready for the second round of pitches. Thanks for hearing me.